Using the Karen Simply Soft Yarn in a size K crochet hook as recommended, which is a fairly large crochet hook. I'm using red yarn only because I'm making a red, white, and blue veterans cap. It's also possible for you to make an entirely solid cap using dark colors like gray or navy or brown. That's fine as well. But I'm going to start with this, and you can feel free just to make yours solid if you want. So that you start by doing a chaining 3. So I'm going to make a slip knot to start, as you do with every crochet project, and I'm going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then it says to join with a slip stitch. So I'm going to go back into the first chain that I did, and I'm going to pull the yarn through and pull it right through again, and that's going to form my ring. Okay. The next thing is it says to do 9 chain 1 single crochets inside that ring that we just made. We're going to do 9 of them. So I'm going to flip that tail over just so it doesn't get in my way while I'm making the ring. And I'm going to go inside the ring, and I'm going to do a single crochet. Now I'm going to put my stitch marker in right now because I know that this is my first single crochet, and rather than go fishing around later for where my first stitch was, I know where it is because I just did it. So I'm going to take my stitch marker and put that in the first single crochet, but I still have to do a chain 1. Going to do another single crochet, which is you put your hook in, pull the yarn through, you have 2 stitches on it, you pull the yarn through again, and that's a single crochet. But I also want to do a chain 1, so that's 2, so I have to do 7 more. Whoops. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. You see, I kept pushing the yarn around in the ring just to give myself more room. So I've got 9, hopefully I have 9 single crochet chain 1s here. So now I'm back to the beginning. There's my stitch marker. And you're going to be moving that stitch marker every time you start a new row, just so you know where your new row is, where your first stitch is, rather. So what they tell you to do now for the next round, which is round 2, is to do a single crochet chain 1 in each single crochet, meaning in that round that we just did, we did single crochets and chain 1s. Now they're telling us only in the single crochets, not in the chain 1s, but only in the single crochets are we now supposed to do a single crochet chain 1. So we have to be able to see in the first round where's our single crochet and where are our chain 1s. So here's what I've been doing. If you look at these stitches, you can see that there are these prongs that go around the ring. Prongs that go into the ring, and each set of 2 prongs constitutes a single crochet. So if I go backwards, which is always helpful, and look at the sets of 2 prongs that go in, so here's 2 and here's 2 and here's 2, those were all single crochets. Where are you going to put your hook in? Well, there are a couple of ways of doing it, but I'm going to go by what the instructions are telling you, and the instructions tell you to put it in just to the right of these 2 prongs. For each single crochet is a space. So just to the right of the prongs is what I'm going to call my single crochet. Now if you keep looking around here, okay, so here's another set of 2, and then there's a space just to the right of it, which is here. I'm going to make that my single crochet. Now you'll see there's in between each of the prong sets, there's almost like 2 spaces with a bar in between that go a horizontal, a vertical bar. So this one just to the right of my sets of 2 is I'm going to call that my single crochet, and the one to the right of that bar, that vertical bar, is going to be my chain one. So that's what I'm going to call each of those spaces. So just to the right of the two is my single crochet, and to the, actually you could call it to the left of these two as well. That's going to be my chain one. So now let me go back. So they're saying that for round two, you're going to do a single crochet chain one, only in each single crochet, not in the chain one spaces. So I'm actually going to be doing 9 of them. So I know that this is my first single crochet space. I'm going to take this out momentarily, the marker, and I'm just going to do a single crochet chain one in here, single crochet chain one, and then I'm going to look for the next space. Okay, so that was my first set of 2 prongs. Now here's the other one. I said I'm going to go to the right of that, so here it is. So I'm going to do single crochet chain one. Okay, look for the next set. It's right here. I'm going to go to the right of that, single crochet chain one. Okay, now what I didn't do was I didn't put my stitch marker back in, which is what you should always do. So let me see if I can figure out where that is. So there's one, there's the next one. So I did 3 stitches. So it must be this one. So this is my first single crochet from that round. I think, but it's much more helpful to do it right after you do the stitch. So that was 3. Okay, single crochet, chain one, single crochet, chain one. Here's my next set of, so I did that set. Here's my next set of 2. I'm going to the right of that, single crochet, chain one. Here's the next one, single crochet, chain one, single crochet, chain one, and finally, where are you? Right here, single crochet, chain one. Now let me just count and see if maybe that's 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Hooray! Okay, so that's 9. So that was round 2. Round 3 is a little bit more involved. They're telling you to do a single crochet chain one in the first single crochet. Okay, so we know this is our first single crochet, and we know that because that's where we put our marker in, but also because it's the space to the right of the 2 prongs. Okay, so they want you to do a single crochet chain one in that first single crochet, and then they want you to do a single crochet chain one in the next chain space. So we said that the chain space is the one on the right of that vertical bar. So they want you to then do a single crochet chain one in the next chain space. And then they want you to do a single crochet chain one in the next single crochet, which is right next door to that one. And then they want you to skip the next chain one space, which is this, to the left. Okay, so we can follow that pattern. There is also the chart from Sue. I don't know if I can get this entirely in the camera, but there's this chart from Sue, and if you follow her pattern, you'll see that here's round 2. So she's saying in round 3, which is what we're doing now, in that single crochet, we're doing a single crochet chain one. Then in the chain space, we're doing a single crochet chain one. Then in the next single crochet, we're doing a single crochet chain one. And in the next chain space, we're going to skip that. So the pattern is single crochet, chain one in the first single crochet chain one in the first space, single crochet, chain one in the next chain one, and then skip the next chain one. Clear as mud, right? Well, we'll just do it, and then you will see what that means. So this is round 3. So we're going to do a single crochet, chain one in the first single crochet. I'm going to take out my marker because that I know is where our first single crochet is. So I'm going to do a single crochet, chain one in the first single crochet. I'm going to put the marker back in this time, okay, to mark the first space. Then I'm going to do a single crochet, chain one in the first chain space, which we said is, you see the vertical bar? It's going to be on the right side of the vertical bar, so I'm going to do that in here too. Single crochet, chain one, and then it says do a single crochet, chain one in the next chain space, which is here, because it's to the right of these 2 prongs. Single crochet, chain one, and then they're telling you to skip the next chain space, which is, here's that vertical bar again, and on the right of that is the chain space, right here. We're not going to do anything in that. We're going to start our pattern all over again, but we're going to skip that. So again, we're going to do single crochet, chain one in the single crochet. Then we're going to do a single crochet, chain one in the next chain space, which was to the right of that vertical bar, and then a single crochet, chain one in the next single crochet. And now we're going to skip again this chain space. Start the pattern again. Single crochet, chain one in the first single crochet, single crochet, chain one in the chain space, which is to that right of that vertical bar, and then single crochet, chain one in the next single crochet, and we're going to skip this space. That's the chain one. Start the pattern again. Single crochet, chain one in the single crochet, single crochet, chain one in the chain space, single crochet, chain one in the next single crochet, skip the chain space, and we're going to do the pattern for the last time. Single crochet, chain one in the first single crochet, single crochet, chain one in that chain space, and single crochet in the next single crochet, chain one, and that's the last one. Single crochet, chain one. That was round 3, and we're back to the beginning, and there's our stitch marker. Okay, so it all adds up. So far so good.